Well, here we are again, man. So back, I was on a 1 week vacation, just getting back today, and I enjoyed that, man. I was off for 5 days, and I was loving every bit of that, boy. But back to the grind. That's what I ended up picking up right there. When I got back to the yard, that trailer was already sitting there. I think somebody picked it up in Tennessee, and they wanted me to deliver. It's a two-stop load. The first stop in Joliet, the second stop, in Chicago or whatever. So I don't know what you call those. I guess they some sort of junction boxes or something like that. I don't know. I don't know the electrical term of it, but that's what they wanted me to take. So I just said, okay, whatever. I'll go ahead and make that move. Being off for 5 days, man, that and having to come back to work, boy. If you know what that feeling is like, man, then you already know how I was feeling, boy. Even though I was kind of ready to get back to work at the same time, man, I was tired, man. Been off all week and got to come back to work, man. I was tired. I'm like, man, I sure don't feel like being out here right now. I kind of wish I had another day off, but it's all good. Also, I wanted to do something a little bit different with my videos. I want to have it where instead of where I was doing it before, where I would record a video for the whole week and then, at the end of the week, just condense all that down. I want to get back. I want to show more. I want to put more, footage in my videos and all that. So what I'm gonna do this time around is I'm going to just do daily videos like what I did before. No, I may not upload every day, but I will record every day, and then I'll do like what I'm doing here. I'm still gonna do the voiceovers because I love this voiceover stuff, man. This is cool, man. So I'm still gonna do that, but just show a little bit more of what it's like out here, man. Doing this, this flatbed stuff, driving these trucks and all that. I really want to get used to doing more filming and stuff like that. So this will be the first video of that. Starting it off on a week. It's a Monday, of course. So that's where we at. But yeah, I gotta. The only thing is that now I got to think of what to talk about, man. I got some subjects that I want to talk about, man. But you know how the YouTube algorithm is, man. It's kind of sketchy, so I got to be careful with what I speak on out here. That way, I don't get my video shut down or anything like that. But I've been watching a lot of videos, people getting laid off from their jobs, man. And I was just thinking, man, it's like, here's the thing, man. Being a truck driver, my job ain't secure neither. The only thing is that, you know, when truckers get laid off, it's usually mean because the economy is pretty much done and over with. Truck drivers usually will be the last group of people to get laid off. Once that happens, then that's pretty much it. So, but I'm well aware that, even being a truck driver, my job ain't secure. But it is a little bit more secure than what a lot of these tech people are doing, man. It's kind of messed up because when I was in school, I remember them talking about like, yeah, you know, the future is computers and technology, and I think even back then they were kind of talking about AI. There were some movies that came out talking about AI and all that. But and so we kind of knew that in the future, all this extreme technology would start to take over. But it really wasn't on our minds back then. No, but at least we knew that computers was, the future. So a lot of people, thought that, if you get a job working in computers, that your job would be secure. And for a minute it was. But ever since that situation that happened a few years ago, we're not gonna talk about it because I don't want this channel shut down. But the situation back in 2020, 2021 hit. Well, actually, really 2022 and 2023. That's when you start hearing a bunch of people getting laid off, especially from tech jobs. A lot of that was happening, man. I'm like, come on, man. No, and even though it doesn't directly affect me, man, I just hate hearing, people getting laid off. This is the first stop, obviously. That guard that I spoke to, man, he was cool as hell. But yeah, I just hate hearing that, man, because people they get these jobs, man, because they trying to make a living for themselves, man. I know it's a lot of young people in the tech industry. They probably don't have families yet, but they want to get to that level. No one gets a job just so they could then turn around and get laid off. No one. No, if you would you apply for a job if you knew that they was gonna lay you off? Of course not. That's just what it is, man. So these people, they apply to these really good jobs. Google, Netflix, Tesla, Facebook. Who else? Apple. All these tech jobs and all that doing. Working in networking and marketing and all these different and coding and stuff like that. They got these jobs with the intention on, probably staying there for the next 30 years or something like that, 30, 40 years. From what I've been hearing, in the past, man, I used to, I ain't gonna lie, man, I felt some kind of way, man, about that. I'm like, man, they got it good at these jobs, man. I mean, there was some documentaries talking about Google, man. They go to work and as soon as they get to work, they go right over there to their little kiosk or whatever, they little coffee machine and grab some coffee. They got donuts over there. They got a whole bakery set up inside of there, boy. Then they grab their laptop, they sit down on the couch, kick their feet up, and just start doing some coding, man. If they want to take a nap, they could do that. Some of them, a lot of them bring their dogs up in there. I'm like, man, look how y'all living, man. Y'all out here living. And on top of that, they was getting banked. Yeah, this after, so they unloaded the first stop. I think they took 15 of those boxes off of there. If you know what those are called, man, just throw them in the comment section. I don't know what them called. So I got 8 more to go to the second stop. The second stop is in Chicago. So that's where we heading now. And that stop right there was in Joliet. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, man, I mean, they was living good, man. They was getting paid all this money, man, and just living good, man. I'm like, man, look here. Look at here, man. But then, the layoffs start happening, man. They start getting laid off left and right. Thousands of them. Companies are hired them. They had this mass hiring back in like 2020 or 2021, I think it was. And maybe even part of 2022. Then they just start laying them off, man. 5,000, 10,000. I think over 400,000 people in the tech sector, I think, got laid off since 2022 or 2023, something like that. I think it was that many. Either way, it was a lot. And it was real messed up, man. I'm like, man, this is messed up, man. Because some of them, they pretty much plan they lives around these jobs, man. They got, some of them, work downtown, different cities and all that. They probably got these really expensive apartments. Some of them got leases that was 7, 8 months. I was about to say 7, 8 years lease. Hell no. The 7, 8 month leases, and just to get laid off, man. It's like, man, how they gonna pay that $2,500, $3,000 a month rent? Some of them, a lot of them got student loan debt too, and they was hoping that, they job would help pay all that off or pay it down enough. But then they end up getting hit, man. They just terminated them, quickly, man. It's like, man. And like I said, man, I was just thinking about, being a truck driver, man, because, out here, man, I mean, I don't pay rent while I'm sitting inside this truck, while I'm sleeping up in here. I don't pay rent up in here. I get to take showers at truck stops. I get free showers. You put 50 gallons worth of fuel in the truck. There's a free shower right there. To get something to eat. I mean, yeah, the food out here ain't the best, but at least it's something. No, really, the only expenses that I gotta pay is food and laundry, and that's it. No, I don't pay for nothing on this truck because I'm a company driver and all that. But I understand not everybody could do this job, man. But it's just so messed up, man. It really is messed up, man. It really is. It's sad, man. But for what I've been hearing, man, they said that this has been going on for years, even before the whole 2020 situation. I've been hearing a lot of, tech people working in the tech sector and all that, and getting laid off, even back in I guess the early 2000s, even though it wasn't as widely known then, because a lot of these tech companies that were a whole lot smaller back then. But now, man, it's like they gotten so big and so large, man. You got $1 trillion companies out here now. Multi-trillion-dollar companies, some of them. Some of them got over 100,000 employees. They got all kind of departments and all this other stuff, man. It's like, And then someone working in and they get laid off, man. It's like, man, look here, man. Yeah, you know that Chicago traffic, boy. You already know what that's all about. So I just got to thinking. I was like, man, trucking is messed up. It's a bad industry, but at the same time, man, like I said, man, I know that my job ain't secure, but at the same time, it is pretty secure. When you start hearing mass layoffs in the trucking industry, then you know this economy is pretty much done and over with at that point. That's just the facts, man. Just reality of it. There were truck drivers that got laid off. A couple of years ago, I think it was. And as sad as that was, they could still, find jobs. Yeah, I had to make this old janky ass turn right there, man. I'm like, man, look here. No, I was able to make that really sharp right turn, man. But I was looking at that like, man, I was trying to see if there was another way I could get around. But we almost hit our second stop. This is the second stop right here. Pulled up there. The guard up in there, he was cool too. He told me where to go. So yeah, man, I don't take nothing for granted out here. I try to, be mindful. I try to be wise with my money, man, because, ain't nothing guaranteed, man. Like they said, there are only two guarantees in life: death and taxes. And that's it. No matter what job that you work at, man, job security seems to be coming, you know, harder and harder to come by now. It really is, man. So that's why I said before, man, that the best thing for me to do, I'm only speaking for myself, but the best thing for me to do, man, is just to, keep my expenses low. Like yeah, I make okay money here. I like it. I like what I make here. But it's not enough for me to really afford to live anywhere. No, I can't really afford an apartment like that. I can, but I can't. And then on top of that, it really don't make a whole lot of sense because I'm always gone. I stay out for weeks at a time. So for me, it's like, what am I paying for an apartment for if I'm not gonna be there? No, that's just how I look at it. No, I don't have a family of my own or nothing like that. So it's like really ain't no point in me, coming back to the crib. I just stay out on the road. But like I said, I'm only speaking for myself. I ain't speaking for nobody else. No, but for me, man, I just got to a point to where, with the way things are going in this country, man, it's like everything is so expensive now. Houses are expensive, cars is expensive, healthcare, insurance, food. Y'all know what the cost of eggs is. I don't know if the price went down yet, but the cost of eggs been going crazy. No, 10. I seen it. The highest I seen it was like $10 a dozen, and I think that was out there in Walmart. Walmart's supposed to be cheap, and that was for their large eggs. I think you get eight. They had the large size, and I think it was like 18 of them in a pack, and they were like $10 or something like that. I think before you could get that many eggs for like, I don't know, maybe $6 or something like that for 18. Maybe, I don't know. I ain't never bought that many eggs before. I know the cost of these eggs been going crazy. Yeah, I'm traveling down Western. I know the video is sped up, obviously, but driving on the north side, man, they go to law. They're 12 right there. I'm like, what he doing, man? He over there looking for somebody. But yeah, driving on the north side, man. I ain't too familiar with the north side because I live on the south side of Chicago, born and raised. Every time I say that, every time I talk about my city, man, I gotta say that. But yeah, the north side is beautiful, man. But the streets up there are kind of tight, and plus the traffic up there is dense. It's real dense up there, and it's expensive as hell too. My sister live up north, and her rent keep going up. That's why I say, man, I stay out south somewhere, man, because it's cheap out there. There's less traffic out there, but still. But yeah, driving through the north side is nice. So I always like driving up there. But yeah, man. Things are just getting crazy out here, man. So it's like you got to be real mindful of your money. You got to have other sources of income. Just working one job ain't doing it no more. You got to have multiple jobs that you work. It's crazy, boy. It used to be you could just get by with just one job, man. That one job will pay for your whole lifestyle, pay for your car, pay for your mortgage. People really didn't have no credit card debt back then. It's crazy, man. One man could raise a family, 3 kids, and a wife, all on his own. Nowadays, y'all got to be partnered up. 2 people just to afford one house, man. I never understood that, man. I don't understand 30-year mortgages. I don't get that, man. There's not a single person on the face of this earth that can convince me that getting a 30-year mortgage is a good thing, man. I just don't see it, man. I don't. I don't care what the house costs. If I got to get a 30-year mortgage on a house, then that tell me right there I bought too much house. The house costs too much. I don't need none that big. That's just me though. Like I said, I'm just speaking for me. No, nowadays, man, it's like you got to be so wise with your money, man. It's crazy. I didn't need to go in that guard shack. I thought I did. It's my first time here. I ain't never been to this place before. This place right there on 45th and Western. I'm familiar with that area. I used to come up and down Western all the time back in the day. Before I got in trucking, I used to work a lot of temp agencies, and they used to send me all over in that area, man. So I'm pretty familiar with that area. And I was sitting where you seeing all them trucks at. I was sitting there for about 2 hours, man. I ended up calling the Uber Eats and everything, boy. I was sitting there for a minute. No, my appointment was for I think 4:30, and I think I got there around 2:30. And they said that they try to get you loaded around your appointment time. So if you get there early, you just gotta sit. So that's what happened to me. I wasn't tripping. I didn't really care. I had to use up all my timbers and all that, plus 2 more. You can't. I don't know if you can see it, but if you look farther in the back there, you see some wood sitting in one of those crates. So he ended up grabbing 2 more of those, putting them up there. But yeah, man, just being smart with my money, man. That's basically what it boils down to, man. That's one thing about trucking. Look at me over there staying like a damn goofy. Boy, I swear. Man. Whoa, oh boy. But yeah, that's the one thing about trucking, man. It really help you out with your money management. Or at least it can. Cause it's like you making some dough. And it's like, well, what can I spend it on? But for me, man, I can't think of nothing spend it on like that. I tell you this though, I ain't no trick. I'm tell you that right now. I can't do that. Can't do it. So all of my little coins that I make, man, I keep that for myself, man. I ain't knocking nobody. I ain't telling anybody how they should spend their money, but I'm just saying that fizzing sound you heard, that's some Sprite. I gotta give me something to drink. All that OnlyFans and all that other stuff, man. I don't see how people could do that. Look, I ain't mad at nobody's hustle, man. Get your money. How you gonna get your money, man? But damn, man, I don't see how people could do that, man. I've never been one to do something like that, man. I've never been one to do that. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying. I just don't. I don't know, man. The way I look at it is like this. I make the money, and if I spend the money, I need something like something real in return. To me, sleeping around that ain't enough for me. That ain't enough for me, man. It's. I mean, I don't want to say the word. It's the P word. It's been said to be the oldest profession in the world. Now, I don't want to say the word because I don't know how YouTube going factor in factor in stuff and get the video demonetized. So I got to be careful what I say. But you know what I'm talking about, man. It's the oldest profession in the world, man. And that's basically what it is, man. If you sleep for money, then that's exactly what it is, man. Like I said, get your money how you gonna get your money, but I never been one to do stuff like that, man. I just don't understand how that works. I don't. Just like I don't understand a 30-year mortgage, I don't understand, you know, people who spend money for sex. I just don't. You know, to me, it's almost like I walk into a Best Buy and I just walk up to the cashier and just break bread, just give her $100 bill for nothing, or $500 bill for nothing. They gonna look at me like I'm a damn fool. Like what? Like, why don't you buy something? Why don't you get you a TV or something? That's how I look at it. If I heard this story about this dude, I don't know how they met, but they were talking online. They've been talking for like a little minute, and for whatever reason, I don't know if she said something to him or if she made promises to him. I don't know. But he ended up breaking bread, 7 bands, easy, and just sent that to her. Cash out, boom, done. Just sent that. I'm like, damn, 7 bands like that? That's what I heard. And I guess as soon as he sent it, he realized he made a mistake. And so I guess he was trying to figure out a way how he get his money back. No, that's gone, man. That money gone. I think she continued to talk to him for a little bit after that, but after that, she never came out there because they were talking long distance. She never came back out there to see him no more. Well, she never went out there in the first place to meet him. They just kept talking online. But I guess he sent her that money thinking that if he sent her money, that she'll, fly out there and come see him. But she didn't do that. That money gone, man. Who knows how long it took that man to save up that bread, man? Who knows how long it took? It could took a month, took a week. It could took a year for all I care. Either way, he had to work for it. And just in 2 seconds it's gone. I remember I went to a casino one time for the first time ever in my life. That was, oh man, that was a minute ago, man. That was back in like 2010, I think it was. Never been to a casino before, never been to one since. Wait, before I tell you that, so they finally get done, right? This truck right there sitting there, I chop it up with them because I had to get my bills. But the place was all the way on the other end. So here in the way I couldn't get around. So I said, I'm just gonna walk over there. So that's me walking over there now. Take my little stroll, walking in the back of the building. That guy who was blocking, he ended up walking over there too. There was a Home Depot right there. But yeah. So yeah, what was I saying? Well, hold on, let me get that back. Let me get that back. Hold on, let me get that back. Uh well, hold on. All right, yeah. So I, I had to pause the video and go back and see what I was talking about. But yeah, I was talking about that whole casino situation. So yeah, 2010, I went to a casino for the first time with some people's off my job or whatever. I was working at FedEx at the time, and one of the guys I work with, he liked to go to the casino. So me and him, we was all talking. It was like a group of us, and we was like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll go out. I ain't never been to something like that. I'm not a gambler. I don't really care for that. No, but I figured why not? So we went, and it was cool. I walked around the machines and around the room and all that. And first, like I said, first time in a casino, man. Walked around, looked around, saw a bunch of slot machines and people playing, poker and blackjack and all that. And I walked up to a machine, and they serve alcohol, but I didn't drink none. And I walked up to a machine, and I had $2 on me. I put my little hot $2 in there, and just as fast as I put it in there, man, that money was gone, boy. I'm like, man, look here. I don't see how people could do this. I don't see how people could do this, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a cheap ass bastard. I don't know, but I just can't do it, man. That's why I say it's. I mean, it's just so difficult for me to part ways with my money like that, man. I just can't do that, man. I buy a TV or something. I might, you know, I don't know, buy clothes, buy food, stuff like that. But spending money for sex or gambling or anything like that, man, I just can't do that, man. Or just giving money away to some random female that I see on the internet. I just can't do it. I don't care how bad she is, man. No, times is tough now, man. It's times is tough. OnlyFans and all. Like I said, man, get your hustle, get your money, man. I just can't do it. I've been seeing I've been seeing so many posts, so many memes online, women complaining about a man giving her $30. She over there mad because he sent her a $30, man. Like, what am I gonna do with $30? There was one. This dude sent this female, I think, $200, and she was complaining about that. She was like, "What am I gonna do with $200?" I'm like, damn. See, that's the only reason why I just can't. Yeah, I can't do that, man. Yeah, like I said, man, I be seeing this stuff. I be seeing it. I don't really talk about it too much. Yeah, I'm talking about it now, but I be seeing it, man. I sure be seeing it. It's kind of messed up. It really is messed up that I don't know. I guess people just don't appreciate, the stuff that you do for them, man. They really don't. No, I've never ever ever in my life given just women random women money like that. I just never did that, man. I gave my sister a few dollars, but that's my sister. I think I gave my cousin. So I think I gave my cousin $20 one time, but that's my cousin. No, but just some random female. I never did that. That was only one time where I bought this chick that I did not know lunch. Let me tell you the story, man. We got time. Yeah, let me tell you the story, man. So this happened back in 2009. I remember this like it was yesterday, man. I worked a warehouse job. It was a temp job, temp agency job, man. I was only making $8.25 an hour. That's it. All I did was move boxes around. It was like Kimberly Clark. That's who I worked for. Kimberly Clark. Moving boxes. I think the boxes were used for diapers. You know what I'm saying, man? And we worked on in like teams for whatever reason. I don't know why they had us in teams, but they had everybody in a team. And they didn't really assign you to no team, man. It's just like if you were standing right there, then that's the team that you were part of. And so I was part of this team. They assigned some dude. He was the leader. He was the lead or whatever of the team. And just I don't know, man. I was only there for about maybe a month, maybe 2 months or something like that. And then all of a sudden, this one day I came in work, and he was like, all right, he gathered all the guys, me and a few other guys. He was like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. He was like, we're gonna buy all of the women in our group, lunches. There were about 5 females in our group that was with us. He was like, we're gonna buy them lunches. And the whole time I'm sitting up there like, buy them lunches? For what? We're gonna buy them lunches for, man. We work at the same place, making the same amount of money. I make $8.25 an hour. And he was like, come on, man. Like, come on, just get with we all a team, man. I'm like, man, I make $8.25 an hour, man. Why I gotta buy her lunch? She ain't my woman. He was like, man, just be a team player, man. I went on here and did it, man. I shouldn't have done it. Sometimes I think about that, like, man, I shouldn't have done it. I really shouldn't have, but him saying that we should all be a team player and all that, even though the job wasn't shit, making $8.25 an hour moving boxes. I ended up doing it, man. That was a Wendy's up the street. I went up there. I asked her what she wanted. She told me what she wanted. I went up there. I grabbed it. I think the total came out to like maybe $7 or something like that. Which actually was pretty cheap back then because nowadays that same meal probably cost you about $10, $11. But back then I went on and spent a little $7, gave it to her, and that was it. I'm like, man, I ain't never doing this shit again. That was the one and only time I bought something for a female that I did not know. The one and only time I did that, man. I ain't never did it since, and I never will. It's just the principle of the whole thing, man. That's just the way it is, man. Like I say this again, I say this again and again and again. I'm not knocking anybody's hustle. Get your money. How you gonna get your money? But at the same time, man, it's like, man, some got to give, man. Some really do, man. I know there's people out there they don't really want to work. I became a truck driver not because I wanted to do it, but because I got tired of working in warehouse jobs, man. Them jobs weren't doing nothing for me. I had to make a sacrifice. That's where it is. I'm out here busting my ass every week. Just out here trying to make a living for myself. I'm a grown ass man. Got to do something. The Bible says if you don't eat, if you don't work, you don't eat. And so that's what I try to do, man. I think the Bible says that. I gotta go back and look. But yeah, man, I know that working is real important, man. It really is. and I don't have no kids or nothing like that. I ain't got no wife or nothing like that. So, the only thing I could work for is myself. That's it. That's it. That's all. But no, I mean, it is what it is, man. Like I said, it's just my opinion. That's all I'm doing, just voicing my opinion, just letting y'all know what the business is, man, and where I stand. I'm gonna, maybe open up a little bit more as time gone. I got 4,500 subscribers. Shout out to all the people that come to the channel. I try to bring y'all content that I hope that y'all enjoy. But I'm just gonna open up a little bit more, just talk about a few things. We're gonna keep it pushing.